So I don't think it was the best game of us, but not of them either. So I just think we have to, keep building on what we have and be ready for our next game.
When it comes to Stewie potentially not, she could play or she maybe isn't going to play. Regardless, she has a bub knee, and you probably are going to be one of the players that are going to be asked to stand up. I mean, how much do you just view this as an opportunity to buy her time? Because, knowing that if you take care of business game 2, you don't have to play every other day.
I mean, that's how sports is, I guess. You got to stay ready. That's why you have 12 players, not just 5. I've been in a situation before where you lose like one of the key players or they're not fully healthy, but then I think it's a job of, the whole team and staff and everybody to make sure that you have 12 players ready to take that role. So it shouldn't matter. I mean, obviously, like she's a great player, and we do depend on her. But it shouldn't make or break a result or a season in the ending.
I mean, this team is 15-3 when it wins a rebounding battle this season, and it was a plus 14 on the boards on Sunday. So, what would be the key to keeping up the momentum on the rebounding game?
Just keep fighting for that. The game is never over. Even in the end, like when you have like 2 minutes and you're up, you have to keep going because I'm on Eurobasket in 2 minutes at the end. So we came back from 12 points too in just 2 minutes. So it's never over. So I've seen the proof of it, and there's gonna be momentums. But as a team, you have to be strong enough to break it and turn it back your way because you don't know what's gonna happen in the rest of the game. And this is playoffs. Like I know the players on the other side are never gonna give up until the last second. So we should be ready for that. And I don't think there's a manual for breaking momentums. It's just like you have to hustle and be mentally strong enough and then get each other on the same page and huddle up. I don't know.
Emma, what do you think is going to be the key to cutting down some of the turnovers?
Communication and, I think we were stronger already in physicality, but I think we still could do better. And just having the discipline of being in the right spots and we have our place, so we know where we have to be in the right timing. And also like take responsibility and not step back too much because it can be hard. It's playoff basketball, so it's gonna be hard, but we can't shy away from it. So I think we should be able to fight for ourselves to get open in the right position.
Do you have a different perspective or approach to the playoffs this year, knowing that it's been a couple years since you've been back in the W and back in the postseason? Are you thinking about it any different?
For me personally?
Yeah, for you personally.
Not really. I mean, it's been a while since I was in W, but I played overseas and I've had a ton of playoffs in that meantime. So it's like win or go home. So you want to win every single game, but in regular season, like you have some time to adjust and everything. But now you have to be there. You have to try to peak at this time. So.
When you're losing somebody like Stewie potentially if she doesn't play, the last game she kind of in certain situations was more of like a roamer defensively, kind of all over the place, and I guess she is one of your best in one defenders. How much is it more important to just be on your P's and Q's and know your person and like not allow yourself to make mistakes, I guess?
I mean, you don't want to ever make mistakes. It's basketball though, so there's gonna be mistakes. It's how you answer to them. I think that's why we also practice in the year and have all these games. Like, if you know each other well enough to how to answer, like communicate fast enough in that one split second to answer to that, you should be fine. But otherwise, it's our responsibility to know our personnel, know the other team, but they will adjust too. Nobody was gonna do what they did all season long. Everybody's gonna adjust. So should we?
Emma, with you having the experience as a former MVP and WNBA champion, how are you using your voice in the locker room? I know as a newcomer, it might be difficult for some to kind of galvanize people, but with that experience, how are you using your voice in this locker room?
It's a little bit different because I came late, but I'm usually also a quiet one. However, I think if I see something, I'd rather say like face to face and or if it has to be said in the locker room, like I'll probably say it. But I'm more of like bringing the experience to the individual players. Like, oh, I think you can get that, or we can fix this. More in that way, like throughout the whole game. And other than that, I'm just seeing what everybody says. If I have to chime in, I will. But sometimes just listening to,
Listening and filling it out as opposed to being the aggressor in that sense.
Say again?
Is it you just listening and filling it out as opposed to you kind of being the aggressor in the conversation to get your team involved?
Yeah, I feel like we all see the same things though, and we all know what we have to fix at that time. So it's being said really fast already. So I usually agree on everything that's been said. If I can say something extra, I will, but I'm not just gonna double it because it won't be efficient.
Emma, so on a personal level for you, I know you don't like to dwell on the past, but over your time in Belgium and Eurobasket, you've in EuroLeague, you've been in a lot of playoff situations. So on a personal level, how did those experiences with the Cats and beyond prepare you for what's going on in New York right now, particularly on a repeat run for a title?
Just experience, I think it's making me and us more ready for the pressure that comes with it. That you're not like blinded by the spotlights, blinded by the attention, blinded by the pressure that's being put on you. So I think that's more so it instead of like tactics or basketball, pure basketball, because it is a big moment and it's not always easy to cope with it. Like, how do you handle yourself? How do you prepare yourself? So I think it's more so in that way that it helped me now, because when I was 20 years old, I may have been like paralyzed. There was one playoffs where I was just like not making shots, not having confidence. So I think we've all been there at some point. So I think I hope that's not gonna happen anymore.
Emma, what did you learn about how the Mercury were defending you in Game 1, and how can you look to exploit that in Game 2?
I missed some of the layups that I did, but I just think keep moving that way and like keep getting other people open by doing all that cutting and moving, and if I have the ball, like just seeing what's happening a little bit, bring the calms maybe sometimes in moments where we are rushing a little bit too much, but just how I know basketball, I think.
What playoffs was it that you feel like you were paralyzed or you were just struggling?
It was in Washington. It was one of my first playoffs, so I don't even know. It was against Minnesota, I think. It's a while ago. I don't even want to remember that. But yeah, it does happen. Like whether it's like one stretch in the season or it's in playoffs, it's how you have to learn about yourself, how to handle that.
How did you work through that? 2017 maybe. How did you work through it?
Full fact check.
That's a long time ago.
How'd you work through it in that moment, or what do you feel like you learned?
Probably just being home at that time. I've been playing all year round at that time, and I think just being home and step away from basketball for like maybe 1 week it was done. That just helps, and then practice.
Everyone good?
Just one more